Fine, thank you.
Thanks.
Hello.
Oh, so isn't it?
Okay.
You're signing on.
Yeah, I need to get all the signing sheet done. Sorry, I'm trying to get the technology working first.
Zoom.
Oh, you've got the signing sheet. Oh, wonderful. Thank you ever so much.
Yes, sorry. Keep dropping the hands. I was confused what I was reading. Hi.
Hey, Hannah.
So then pass it up, sir. Hi.
Oh, hi, Natasha. I'm John Paul. I'm secretary to the
Absolutely.
haven't met, so I saw the letter, but
Yeah.
hello, Maria.
I'll just go there. I think I've come.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
exactly one of them was a meeting stuff. Is it possible something you know the bank? Well, could you use the data for just that repeat that?
Is it on the 8th floor?
I think that's about sort of 8, 7 and 8. I think it's just people, some people start to use like then more now. So it's like it's a giant bank.
I was at school.
Yeah, so if you look from the back, it's can't really see from
Yes,
this.
nice, unlike
These are sticking out balconies, so it's all corridors and each level on a higher floor.
It's down, that's when it
And because ages ago,
It closed.
Margaret, we set up a thing where we put these balconies in it, because there's lots of the corridor, and the people would to sign up the kind of conduct thing, and they got.
The doors that are locked, and then there's the back doors. I'll have a look.
I mean, I can show you after if you want.
You don't have anything.
Sorry, I need to sign.
You make a coffee at this time.
Yeah.
It's a little guy.
Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you.
And James Kingsley from Resident Development.
Hi. Oh, nice to meet you. Hi, nice to meet you. Hi, George. We got
How are you?
before. I'm okay. How are you? Oh, so who have we got online?
Image at the moment.
Is it? I can't remember what we need to make quorum, JP.
10.
Okay.
10 people, 10 adults. Don't have to be. So Imogen I count as 2.
How many have we got at the moment then, JP?
There's 3 in the hall at the moment.
Do you say there's 3 so far, JP?
3 in the hall at the moment, 3 in you.
3 in the hall. And what about on the phone? Just me?
Just you at the moment.
Oh, I thought Astrid was going to join on the phone.
Sign in. You Miriam. I'm okay. How are you doing?
I was hoping you wanted to play to the scene, but what? Priority.
Jump in. Going where to the theatre?
The
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, the tricycle.
no kill.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, you mean busy.
Yeah, yeah. I'm literally just like come from work straight to here. I've eaten something, so that's good. How's your baking?
Saturday night, and then like I've done Devon the weekend before that, and I played France before that, and I'll be.
Everybody online, would you be able to put which flat you are in the chat just to kind of help us keep track of everybody? We've got about 8 people online at the moment, so I mean we're technically correct now.
Yeah. We've got a bow. The little stickler me goes like, how many have we got online? For the
And in
minutes.
Fran, Astrid, Imogen, Keaton, Kim, Pauline.
Understand, Astrid, Imogen, Keaton, Pauline, 2, 4, 6.
Did you miss
Kim.
Kim?
What's the last one?
Patricia.
Got Pauline.
Pauline, sorry, Pauline.
Yeah.
Sorry, got my brain failure.
All right. Yeah. Hey.
We've still, for your benefit, got more people online than we have in the room. Oh, sorry, yeah.
Do you have enough people?
Yeah, we do, Keaton. We're at quorum.
I think
Okay.
Nancy was going to take her and just explain where we were.
Okay, but probably need to do an introduction. So
Yeah, I assume we're going to probably hang on for another couple of minutes.
We need to. It's 6:37. I'm like, let's get cracking. If people coming late, they're coming late. We're at quorum. Sorry. Everyone's tired. Long day, and I think people.
Yeah, well,
Let's get on with business, shall we?
I'm happy with that. Because the MSC and I sort of spoke earlier because you were going to sort of kind of take on the running the meeting, given where we were. Do you want to come and sit in front of the laptop, bearing in mind the number of people we've got online?
You can say here. I guess we'll just for I'll do a bit of I don't know, like introductions. Who we got in the room and who we got online. So we did a quick roll call just a moment ago. JP did of who we've got online. No one else has joined since. It's our AGM. So essentially today is about doing the official business financials, roles, voting in new roles. And we've also got in the room, we've got 3 residents, we've got Councillor Linford Hall and Resident Services Officer. And we got, sorry, Natasha, and we've got Resident Services Officer Natasha Brown as well. And
Yemisi's from resident involvement.
Sorry, yeah, Yemisi resident involvement. So is imagine that, you know, Chucks, who previously helps us run our residents associations, she will play that role, because essentially what happens is we do any official business and then hand over to Yemisi to do the official AGM voting new people in, and I think that's what we're going to start with, isn't it, JP?
Yeah, I mean, I had a bit of a conversation with the MC. We're in the situation where this isn't a traditional AGM as one might expect, because the TRA kind of didn't really get going after COVID sort of thoroughly. So I kind of briefed the MC on where we were. You know, in terms of, I think the last formal AGM we had was in 2021 sometime, and we've had general meetings since then, but not a proper AGM.
We've had, I think, 1, maybe 2 official meetings, and we've probably only had a couple of committee meetings again. And just for all transparency, I'm vice chair and here as chair, because we never got running with the chair that got voted in at the last AGM. Yeah,
I mean, again, the other thing for the benefit is that, you know, a number of people since COVID have moved on. So the previous chair, Ben, moved on. At the last general meeting, we voted in Kirsten to be chair. She then got married and moved on. Stuart, who was our treasurer, has moved out to the block as well. So we've had a lot of the kind of key people on the committee move on, which has also presented a bit of a challenge.
And I'll be quite transparent. I think it's fair to say, I think there's probably a need to have a new injection of energy into the Residents Association. I mean, I think I've been on it since 2012. Which is a really long time and in different roles, and it probably needs a new leadership and new injection of energy, and it really requires others in the building to sort of get involved if they want to, but also there was a question here in hand as to whether or not we have got that energy and desire in the building to take it on and to do those roles and drive forward. I'm still happy to be involved as a committee and help with certain roles. Told JP things that I'm good at, and I can help share roles. But there are 4 key roles, and I'll let Yemisi really get into that. But it needs new injection, is my view, and a new drive forward, and people to be part of that.
Over to you.
All right. Hello, everybody. Good evening, everyone. My name is Yemisi Adebayo. I'm the Resident Involvement Officer for Perronet's house. I joined the Tenants Participation and Engagement team in February this year, so kind of still new to the role. Thank you for your time for coming this evening. I had a brief chat with John earlier on today, and he explained to me that some officers of the committee, some have moved on, like you said earlier on, and for an AGM to take place, there's some criteria that has to be met before we can proceed with an AGM. This means that the chair, which we no longer have, the group doesn't have, has to have a chair report, and then there must be financial reports as well from the treasurer. And Jane and John have said earlier on, there's no treasurer and the treasurer has moved on, and there's no financial statement from the group. So what will happen today, basically that might not be able to have the AGM, but because you've met a quorum, we have more than 10 people in the meeting, we can have an interim officers. Yeah, so it's more or less like we're going to reactivate the group again. Everybody okay with that? We're going to reactivate the group. Although you're existing, but we have to reactivate because there's no chair, no treasurer, no report, no financial report. Yeah.
Did that all make sense to everybody?
Right, yes, we can. Yeah, we can. Is that okay with everybody online?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So should we start? There are key positions that we have to elect: the chair, vice chair, treasurer, and secretary. For the benefit of those that are in the room, I've done the breakdown of what the role of the chair is. So no, you're all volunteers, but thank you very much for coming, and thank you for everybody online. Sorry. Some of you might be familiar with the roles that the secretary is. Thank you.
For those people online with a little bit of paper, we can
I can send a little bit.
we can share this later, which just explains what committee members, chair, vice chair, secretary, and treasurer do. That ping is a noise of somebody else joining.
To proceed, right? We have to elect a chair. So I will elect volunteers for chair, or any of you can put yourself forward. If nobody is electing, anyone can put themselves forward for the position of a chair to move the TNRA forward.
And I think as people are mulling that over, I think what we decided is that let people nominate themselves.
Yeah.
Because it should be self-elected.
Mm-hmm.
So we really encourage people to put their own names forward, rather than anyone nominating anyone. If anyone's expecting that whatsoever, it's all going to be self-elected, because it has to be. It has to be where people have got a desire to really.
One question: what sort of time would somebody be given as a chair? What sort of time requirement by this, Perronet House that one should give as a chair, please?
Is if we are successful to elect committee members and officers today, is 12 months. So every year we have to re-elect again. So it's a 12 months period.
12 months period.
And in terms of how much work, well, our constitution requires that we have 4 meetings a year.
Yeah.
4 meetings a year. I used to be chair in Perronet about 20 years ago when there was a TMO. I have done this work before. If it is 4 meetings, I can put myself as a chair if I can do something.
We have Keaton. Keaton is, am I right?
Keaton Patel, yeah.
So thank you very much, Keaton. Keaton has put himself forward.
So then I think just we go around and say, does anyone, what's their
Support, yes, yeah, I was going to do, I just thought I should announce it to everyone first, sorry.
So you feel like you're having to explain every step as well as do it. So do forgive us. So yeah, that's Jane Livesey seconded Keaton.
Okay, second, Jenna second Keaton. Anybody coming forward as well as chair, or you're fine with Keith to be the chair?
I think we bite your hand off, Keaton, and say thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Keaton. We're now going for the position of vice chair. If anyone wants self-nomination, please, as Jane has said earlier on.
And I guess that vice chair role, it's assisting the chair. So like, for example, like I'm here today sitting at the front table, like as vice chair, because we haven't got a chair. So it's those kind of, you know, supporting role type.
And I must.
Why don't you become a vice chair?
Sorry?
Why don't you become a vice chair, please?
Oh,
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to see if there's any other takers for those roles first.
Okay. Okay.
And kind of take that. I'm trying to remove myself from officer role, but stay on the committee.
can I just have that we have training, we have community training officers in case people might be concerned about their role or what it entails.
Shall we come back to vice chair, because that's probably the least important.
I always think the vice chair is the least important of the.
Yeah.
But it's the least time consuming.
Because in a sense you're there to step up and have Keith, and particularly as an experienced chair, has volunteered to do the chairing job. Then I think that puts us in a good place. So are you all right to be?
Yeah, I'm fine. We'll come back to that later. Can we have something like for treasurer, please? Treasurer?
Can I put the cat amongst the pigeons by saying I'm happy to do secretary again,
okay,
if that helps people.
Okay. We've got John has self-nominated himself for secretary. Who's second that? That's Andy. Andy has second that. Do we agree?
Yeah.
Thank you. Now the position of treasurer.
Andy, how about you?
The problem I have is obviously I don't live at Perronet House anymore. I live in Yorkshire, so I feel a little bit remote from the actual location of Perronet House, and we're living up here full time now. This is not something we are just doing temporarily. So I'd rather it went to somebody who physically lived at Perronet House. I think it would be better. And because there's a physicality to treasurer as well in terms of like monies and banking and things like that.
Oh, okay. Thank you, George. Thank you, George. There's training. There's training. We have training.
And
we have
community can help.
Training officers. Yeah, so they have the dates that they do training at Caplo. So in another meeting, I can invite the trainer over, and then I can send the link as well. And so there's support network available. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say thank you, and just for your benefit, I mean, there's some long-standing officers in the room who, you know, for personal reasons, would like to step back from the hot seat, but there will be, I mean, at risk of speaking, you know, people are here to support new people come forward in their job. So, you know, we'll all do the best we can because we want this to work.
It's a really important aspect of this as well, is that it's a really good development role. So if there's aspects that people think, oh, you know, actually, I'd like to get experience in that. There are training
Mhm.
as well as getting the experience of putting it out there. So if anyone did think about their CV
Yes.
and wanted to get certain experience, like it is quite good for that.
George.
Oh,
No,
George. Okay, sorry.
And then do we need someone to second?
We do need somebody to second George.
Second, George. Okay. Oh, thank you. Congratulations, George. We now have George as the treasurer for Perronet.
So
Thank you. Thank you. Now, the last but not the least, committee members.
we're going back to vice chair now.
Oh,
Sorry, that's because we interrupted you.
Okay, all right. Okay. Can we go back to vice chair now, please? Can we have 7 nominees? Oh, thank you. What's your name, please? Okay. If I pronounce your name wrongly, I
Yeah.
apologize.
I'm
Okay.
going to try and write it down and get it right.
Flat one. Bolger.
Borja.
Boha.
Is that right?
Thank
Is
you.
it enough not to be embarrassing for me and you? Thank you ever so much.
Thank you, Boha. Boha has put himself forward for the vice chair for Perronet TNRA. Can we get anyone to second that, please?
I'd be delighted.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And do we support Boha to be the vice chair for Perronet House? Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you. We now have committee members.
Do we have to re-elect committee members? Can we carry on with committee that we've got?
We'd normally formally
Yeah.
elect them at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the AGM. Committee members.
Shall we
There's
start
people-
online and see
Okay.
who wants to put their hand up?
This.
Sorry, good.
Oh, sorry.
I just saw Councillor Neil put his hand up, so were you putting your hand up, Graham, for this or something else? No, maybe something else. And
Myself and Fran will be committee members.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay. Can we have more people, please?
Is there anyone else online?
Anyone else?
Just do one back one first.
Yeah, I'll do it. Astrid, I'll do be a committee member.
Thank you.
Thanks, Astrid.
No, it's not just people with fun.
Anyone
Anybody
else?
from?
Anyone else?
Somebody's.
That was Andy. Oh,
Yeah.
Pauline was asking, what does it entail?
Right, committee members go for meetings, some meetings that some of the chairs or the main officers are not able to attend. They have saying they're automatically part of the TNRA, but they go for meetings like and social behavior meetings, forum meetings, tenants and homeowner meetings to represent your group in any of the meetings that we have.
I think I was going to say for me, the most important thing committee members do is just provide us with a breadth of perspective about living in Perronet House. So the committee tries to get things done and think about what we want to do as a committee. And obviously, you know, the more brains that come together to help do that, the better. I think. I mean, I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's about being part of that collective group, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, for officers sometimes dealing with Southwark Council, and no disrespect to Southwark Council, but it's a beast of a system and it needs that energy and energy of other people around. So it's, you know, it's not about 4 officers running the TRA. It's about a collective of group helping drive things into a position. So it's really being in those spaces to help support and move things forward. So it might be around being and helping on certain initiatives, but also coming up with ideas like what are different things that we could look at as a committee as well.
I'm
to your
just-
point of collective ideas.
So Richard's just joined the meeting. Richard, just to catch you up quickly, we've sort of explained the background to where we are. Yemisi, who's here from resident involvement, has been steering us through the meeting. She said, given where we are, we have a sort of a reinitiation phase now. We've currently been through a set of elections. We've elected chair, vice chair, treasurer and secretary, and we're now discussing the role of committee members and seeking nominations for committee members. So, I mean, Andy and Fran and Astrid have stepped forward for committee members, and we're seeking to see if there's anyone else. And we've more or less filled the room with people. Jane, did you want to be on the committee still?
Yeah, I'm happy to be on the committee. I just wanted us to finish the online piece first.
All right, sorry.
And so we don't kind of get caught up. So, Richard, your abundant energy is incredible. We're not putting you on the spot, but if anyone online still wants to put their name forward for committee members.
Yeah, I'll happily be a committee member. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Brilliant. So we have currently Andy, Fran, Astrid, Jane and Richard as committee members.
Thank you.
And then we just need to open it out to the room. Yeah.
Anyone else who wants to be happy to be on the committee? Amanda's put her hand up for those of you watching in black and white.
It's dual video. Camera and sound. They can see just
No,
Just pause here, unless you want to.
But previously, Richard is my witness. We've tried presenting it so the people online can see the room, but it just means they can't hear a blessed thing online. So we're trying to do it this way, which we hope works a bit better.
Right. So what will happen now? Thank you all.
Do we need to get seconders or not committee members? Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
So and we're happy to accept all those informally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations to everybody.
Yeah.
And I wish you all the best for the next 12 months before we have another AGM. So what I've got here is the treasurer, is the grant.
Money.
Yeah. So I've got the form here, but because you don't have an account now. So what will happen is I'll have to give a supporting letter for the group to be able to open another account. Yep. So that you'll be able to apply for the grant from 2023 to 2024. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll do that. I'll send I'll write the letter tomorrow or Wednesday once I put on the list in the database. I'll be able to an account.
And I mean, for the benefit of everybody involved, obviously, since HSBC pulled the rug from under us on the bank account, and they and this is the best we get in terms of a financial report. Amanda has a check, which HSBC said, we're trusting your account and here's your money. And apparently they've got form about this. It was on Money Box, Radio 4 Money Box. They don't like community accounts. They don't make money from them. So obviously, Richard very helpfully identified a lovely resource that said, you know, banks who are actually still happy to have community accounts. So we can now, with some officers, we can go forward and look to set up a community account, and obviously we'll try to do that as soon as possible. And then. And we think, I suppose, is it worth having a conversation just briefly now about who should be signatories for that?
No.
All right.
Not as part of the AGM. No, I think we can do that.
Yeah, I just thought we got these. I want us to have an account as soon as possible so we can get some money in it, and particularly the check that Amanda's got burning a hole in her pocket, and we owe people money from.
I'll let you lead on keeping the show.
Okay. Well, I'll have a conversation offline about that. Before people go, online people who volunteered, can you please put your email addresses in the chat? So we've we've got your detailed and mobile phone numbers if you're happy. And we'll obviously we've collected those from the people in the room, and we'll circulate something in terms of next steps about the important money stuff, because the money stuff is terribly important.
Can you
Thank
also
you.
have one common email
I can update
as
those
well,
with the
please?
committee WhatsApp group so you'll have everyone's mobile numbers in.
Magic. Sorry,
Thank you.
Hi, yeah, just I was wondering, can we have some common email for Perronet? So it is just for the Perronet rather than for something else as well, if it's possible, please. Can we have a separate email?
A bit email.
Yeah, I mean, in the past, Richard has been brilliant at creating like treasurer at Perronet House. But I don't know.
I think they forward people on. So if people want to have create a separate email address for correspondence to do with the Perronet House Committee, you know, you'll have to do that yourselves.
No,
Okay, fine, perfect.
no. So the TRA, sorry, JP, you don't understand. The TRA funds at periodic times the registration of perronethouse.com. So since the creation of the Resident Association, I can very easily, and it costs nothing, create a forwarding email address. Now, there's two advantages of that. One is for those corresponding with you, they kind of, they know who they're writing to. But also, if you're using something like Gmail, you can then add a filter so that anything sent to that address is in a specific section folder of your inbox if you want that kind of organization. So if anyone in an officer role wants a personalized address, in the past, we've used ones like someone's first name at Perronet House. Some people like to be a bit more less personal, should we say? So they are just things like secretary@perronethouse.com. Those email addresses that are generic titles will need to be updated anyway. So it's no trouble for me to provide all officers with a perronethouse.com email address should they wish.
Yeah, I would like one, please, if you can reach it.
Okay, and what would you like it to say?
Escape the net, my
Okay.
name and yeah, thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So I was just being clear, Richard, that's a forwarder, not a mailbox. So people,
That's what I said, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a forwarding, so it will forward to your address, and then it's up to you to add a filter for it to file however you might like.
Richard said clarity. Oh,
so Richard's saying you can get an email address. He can set up an email address that will then forward on to your email. So it will say, chair@perronethouse.com or whatever, should you wish that.
if you want to, yeah. Will you?
The offer is there.
Okay.
The offer is there.
Yeah.
So you're saying, so we can start to progress the grant application.
Absolutely. You need an account, like I said, your letter to be able to open a new account in support of the application. Okay, anything else that we need to touch on? And also you have some other grant, the cleaner, greener, safer grant that is coming up. This is on already, and the closing date is sometime in October.
Yes.
5th, thank you, 5th of October. So you need to make the application as well. Yeah. And some other external grants that comes as well, I'll be forwarding to your inbox so that you'll be able to apply for them for the community.
Can you send that to all committee members?
Yeah, you have a generic email address.
Yeah, I'll make sure that you've got the
Please.
list of email addresses.
Okay, all right, so you can share them. Yeah. So anything else for us? So anything that you want me to address again?
So, I mean, I think we're not digging into sort of the issues in the block at the moment in this meeting. That's the plan. Unless people had sort of burning stuff that we can take away and just build an agenda for a future meeting. or otherwise we let people go back into their homes and get on with the rest of their lives. And we thank you ever so much for
And I guess,
stepping up and stepping forward.
yeah, and I guess just for the community, I guess my question is like, I'd say it as a committee member, but like next steps, I think being clear for people, like, you know, what we anticipate, 'cause I think we've talked about that before, JP, like those 4 meetings a year, like how we expect them to, like that cadence, how often, every, you know, 3 months, something
Yeah.
like that, just giving a bit of flavour for those that are here and those that are new.
So we had identified this meeting and 3 other meetings over the next 12 months. We can share those dates. I mean, obviously, given that all we've done today is voting,
Yes.
we'll need to organise a committee meeting with everybody who wants to be part of the committee, probably within the next month or at the very latest. And then we can start to discuss things like, you know, what we think our priorities are, what we want to be engaging with, how we want to work together as a group, and obviously the stuff around the bank accounts and the money as well.
Yeah. So I think
I think-
I'm hearing is urgently around having a committee meeting and then a general meeting shortly after that.
Yeah, if I may just chip in, because JP didn't mention the specific dates. They are the 11th of December, the 18th of March, and the 3rd of June. And they've been advertised on the perronethouse.com/residents page for quite a while now. Following the last committee meeting, today's meeting and all those are advertised on that site as starting at 7 p.m, which is why I joined at 7 p.m. I hadn't noticed that the time had been changed. If we want to change the time, if officers want to make it earlier, then I can amend the website accordingly. But those are the current dates scheduled.
Please, can I just ask you to repeat the dates for the meetings again, if you don't mind me?
I've got them here.
11th of
11th of December, 18 March,
18 March.
3 June.
Thank you. So,
Did we have a view of 6:30 or 7? Right, we'll pick it up at the committee meeting then.
I think it would be helpful if a decision could be reached now. The new officers could just pick a date, then we can, you know, otherwise these decisions and uncertainties tend to linger. It's not a difficult decision, I would hope.
Can you put on the common WhatsApp or with the dates and everything, please?
Who is the new secretary?
I'm the new secretary.
Okay.
So yes, we'll remind people again. I mean, I seem to remember a previous conversation. We said 6:30.
I don't recall, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, we had another vote for 6:30.
I mean, just to fit, what happened at the last committee meeting was that we did say 6:30, but WhatsApp message went round to the whole block on the, you know, to the group from one of the committee members pointing out that it was 7 o'clock. So on the basis that it had been widely publicised as 7, I followed up with correspondence to the committee saying, let's go for 7, you know, rather than confuse people, because that was the only public announcement. So that's why it's been 7 p.m. since whenever that committee meeting was, which I think maybe was June or July. So anyone who's familiarised themselves with what's publicly announced, except for today's meeting, will think it's 7 p.m. But if that's not convenient, we can change the website and stick to today's timing. It's up to the officers.
I think we've had a vote for 6:30 and nobody's arguing for 7.
Okay. No problem. I'll make the change now.
Thanks, Richard. Any more, or shall we close the meeting there? Are you content we've done everything
yes.
to the best of
Yeah.
what we need to do now?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Committee members, when would be good for a first committee meeting? Another Monday?
Yep, Monday's work.
2nd of October.
I can't make the 2nd. I could do the week after. Myself and Andrew are away.
Can't do the 2nd here. 9th of October.
No,
Ah,
16th is okay.
16th of October.
And that's better for me.
I think she's got it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Perfect.
16th of October, 6:30 p.m. online in room 93. Everyone content with that?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Would you like me, JP, or would you like to take ownership of this, of getting that in everybody's diary so everyone's got an invite?
Yeah, I'll send the meeting invite around.
Great. I think that just helps keep everybody accountable. No, missing on that.
No. I mean, Mary, do you have anything you want to share with us now that's...
Except the urgency for clean and safe. I think should be taken to be there will be all the grants that will be coming. After that, but I'm responding because so.
No, I mean, thank you for the reminder, because I know we've benefited enormously in the past from cleaner, greener, safer projects, which I think have helped make a difference to things. Cool.
And send that link to you.
That'd be great, and we'll share that.
Yes, I can share.
So, and we'll ask people to put their thinking caps on, because obviously that's the deadline is before the next committee meeting.
Yeah,
Maybe it's one for a
Is there any other problems people want to discuss about?
So these are the grant funding options. So cleaner, greener, safer grant funding. We'll need to come up with ideas if we're to put in a bid before the 5th of October. And it's been suggested that we could put something out in the Perronet House WhatsApp group to come up with ideas about what might be quite good, anything that might be good. Yeah. And you said the neighbourhood funds will come shortly. Cool.
Congratulations, everybody. Thank you for coming for the meeting. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you so much for your
Thank
time,
you.
everyone. Really is appreciated.
Thank you so much.
All right, I shall say farewell to everybody online.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you ever so
Thank you.
much, folks.
Thank you. Bye.
Because you said we had until September.
Oh, yeah.
The water's not working. Apparently there was a flood last week. Yeah, apologies. Yeah, I don't know where the flood was or what. Shall I give the chair?